Minor Disturbance Radio. This is episode 27, and I'm Brian Minor. I got Travis Williams, as usual, co-host, and Jeff wanted to be here really bad, Jeff Covert, but he had a shitty day. You ever had one of them where you're just not in the game?
Yeah.
Fucking, you don't want to talk because it'd be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because everything will be like, you know what, guys, fuck off. Brian, I never liked you. And fuck off.
Yeah.
But in his place, I have a good friend of mine that I've known for, fucking forever?
Yeah, like 15 years.
Yeah. He was around. I met you at the pig pen when Drop Hammer was kind of doing their thing.
Yep.
And we adopted you as like a
bitch.
Basically a bitch, yeah.
Wow. Well, he probably put himself out there, though.
Yeah.
Well, you offered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So anyway, we got we're going to call you some guy.
Okay, some guy.
Some guy. It's like a.
I'm just kidding. It's Ben, my good buddy Benny Clancher, and he's gonna try out and see if you guys like him to come on the show every once in a while.
Yeah.
I already don't like him. I'm like, this Ben guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ben Gay?
And Travis
I don't know.
and I have met.
Yeah, that's
years
right.
Ago.
Yeah.
We do know each other.
Yeah, vaguely.
So. Yep.
Well, like
You're easier-
apparently everybody else in Ben's life, he remembers them, but they don't remember him.
pretty much.
Yeah, I just realized the potential of possible boring Drop Hammer stories. Let's try to stay away
Oh,
from
yeah.
that.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Okay.
Won't happen.
Okay.
No?
Won't
Okay.
happen.
Well, let me explain to listeners, the people that watch the episode. And by the way, man, thank you very much. Fuck, man, I can't believe how many views we got on the last episode. Thank you very much for that. That's a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun doing these and letting the subjects kind of go where they're going to go.
Yep.
We've been doing that. We were actually supposed to do a podcast last Friday, and things came up, in each other's lives, and then a real important thing happened with a good friend of ours, Rob Simrusty, who we've been trying to get a hold of for a while. Well, I have, and found out what was going on with him. He was in the hospital up in Chicago, and then Travis called me the other day and said that he was in hospice. So the last few days haven't been very good for Travis and me. So we haven't had a chance or really been in the mood to do a podcast, And I'm not here to bring everybody down, but just let me tell you a little bit about Rob Simrusty and how I know him. I remember my ex-girlfriend and we used to just go out on weird nights. We like to go to the bars that weren't so packed.
Go to like dive bars?
Kind of like the gallery or something.
Okay, all right.
And just we were in the mood to kind of go check out bands that are playing something a little bit more off the beaten path. And we went into the gallery one night and we ran into a band called the Redheads. Mm-hmm. And this was Wes Weber, Randy Klepstein.
It is Klepstein, that's right.
Klepstein, and Rob Simrusty on bass. And I immediately fell in love with this band. And that's when I met Rob. I just had to tell him, man, I love your band. And from then, I've been in love with that guy until he passed away. Was it last night? No, 2 nights ago?
Yeah, we're still in love with Rob.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's not like I fell out of love. All right, that's it. You died. I can't love you anymore. So, but the thing is knowing Rob through all the, and I was also in a couple different bands with him.
Yeah, you did.
You did fill in the Redheads a few times.
Oh yeah, I did. Eventually, Randy quit the Redheads, and I joined the Redheads, and I learned so much from Rob.
He just was always ready to. There are certain people that are this way, and I really just want them around as much as possible, where you could have both, like during the course of the same conversation, not even the same conversation, during the course of a single sentence, go from the highest minded intellectual philosophical topic to just the lowest brow, like gutter talk, and you could feel fine about it, you know what I mean? Because somehow Rob was the sort of guy who understood that it was all related and that it was all perfectly workable, and there was never any judgment about that. You could tell your dirtiest joke to Rob or ask your most profound question to Rob, and he would entertain both of them, and he never shut you down. He would always think about it.
I absolutely vibed off of his energy for many, many years, and wished that I could be more like him in every situation. It was a really weird thing because he was really exemplary. Is that a word?
Exemplary.
Exemplarious.
Here,
exemplarious.
Don't keep our official dictionary.
Don't keep trying to say that word. Eat this cinnamon and sugar sandwich.
So, and I know that there's, I feel bad for like Randy Klepstein that's known him since he was in high school or whatever, and this guy's easy to fall in love with. There's just people on this earth that you just don't ever want to go away. You always expect them to be there. And then, of course, I do this on every episode, but this cup of coffee is for Rob, because I used to make sure that I went over to Rob's place and we sat and had a cup of coffee at least once every other week, and did kind of what we're doing here right now. Absolutely.
I drank pots of coffee with that dude and talked about nothing. Is very much like what we do here.
I thought about this for a second. What was it that made me feel so good about hanging out with Rob? And I think it was after I hung out with him, it always felt like I've learned something new about myself when I left. And I had a new kind of feeling of aliveness and go out and do something. One time we were walking out of the studio, and it's all rock, guitar, shred, talk. And we're just like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, about that. Because you don't care about flashy shit. Yeah. So, and anyway, we were talking about stuff like that. And we went outside and I saw he was bent over kind of looking at this little leaf or whatever. And there's a little bug on there. And he's like, oh, look. It's a something bug. And he's got it on his finger. He's like, yeah, these only come out, July. And then they go back in the ground, and very cool. Anyway, and you have to stop what you're doing and going, yes, he sees the world and it's beautiful, and he pulls you in. And I don't know.
I
don't know what to say about Rob.
People like that they always pull you in because it isn't just the breadth of their knowledge that gets you. It's just the fact that they're always ready to share it with you as if you are a special person in their life. And that is what I think people loved most about Rob. You
nailed it, dude.
You nailed it. You never felt like you weren't a special part of his life. He always treated you that way, and he always treated me that way. And I met him when I was, I think, 14 or 15 years old. And he was hanging out with my dad and Mark Rubling a lot at that time. Mark Rubling is the owner of Music Go Round, and I worked for Mark for about 10 years. And but before all of that, when I first met Mark, he was actually running Real Tracks with Rob. They were partners in Real Tracks at that time. And so I sort of met those guys as a unit. You know what I mean? They were kind of a package deal. And I liked Mark okay. I don't know, I guess. He reminded me of at the time, he looked like Riker from Star Trek The Next Generation. I was like, this dude, whatever. But Rob, oh my goodness. Finally, someone that I could talk about technical stuff with, about recording and things like that. And the great thing is that right away, he didn't belittle me or treat me like I wasn't an equal. He really, considered the things that I said. And the other thing that was awesome was then he would ask me my opinion about things and say, hey, basically, I value your brain, Travis. Use your brain to help me solve this problem. Rob was a problem solver, but he also was never afraid to ask for help. And then when he asked you for help, it always just felt like, oh, cool. I get to be part of the process here, and it just made you feel very special. And I really will always miss that about Rob. He would call me at the weirdest times. He'd call me at 3 a.m. with some weird technical question about, and it wouldn't even be about recording or music. It'd be about anything, it'd be something stupid like, okay, now, in the history of English measurements, what comprises a furlong? It'd be weird
and
shit
Travis,
like that.
That was only because he had already called me, and I was like, "What the fuck, Rob? Go to bed."
I also always loved the way that when he called you, and I don't know if he did this to you, but whenever he called me, he always said my name followed by his name with no comma. It was always Trav Rob.
Absolutely. There's so many Robisms that we could go through right now.
I know it.
And I even thought about doing a show that was dedicated to him. I know we're talking about him right now, but I wanted to do a show where if anybody was interested in this, I'd like to get my camera out, my professional camera, and kind of just find maybe 20 people that would just tell one story about Rob.
Oh man, that'd be awesome.
And then just play it in one of our episodes.
That'd be awesome. And another thing that I thought would be really cool to do is to get after his oeuvre of recorded work. He's got all these recordings that he did with so many bands over the years. It'd be really cool to find the best clips and get them all together on a compilation. So that you can get a look into, what kinds of people were working in his studio. And, since it was a commercial studio, a lot of people that went down there and recorded, of course, they paid for studio time. But I just think that a lot of times he charged less than what people really ended up getting. And he was more interested in completing projects than he was in charging by the hour a lot of the times. And he made it so that people understood, that the work was important and that you could be meticulous and exhaustive and thorough about the work, and that each problem that you run into is another challenge that can be, dealt with and, responded to.
Yeah. I remember when we were in the Lust-A-Lots, we were in a band called the Lust-A-Lots, me and Rob and I. And he played bass for that, and he played Blah 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 was his name. Blah Blah Blah.
That is a reference to the show Arrested Development.
Right.
Scott Baio's character was Blah Blah
and he
Blah.
dressed in bummy clothes and was just kind of blah blah blah, And I was the hellbilly or whatever, and Lee was some transvestite cheerleader or something.
So who all was in that band?
John Nelson, Lee Pakula from Cheese Pizza, them two are from Cheese Pizza, and then Rob Simrusty, and then myself. It was fun. It was a fun gig.
How many gigs did you guys do?
We fucking probably did about 8 and then broke up.
Yeah.
I know you did one in Sterling.
Yeah.
I was there for that.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we spent a lot of time together doing that, and he had a blast doing all the we played with backing tracks, and he was putting all these backing tracks in there, and he's just a great guy. Anyway, the best memories though aren't from the stage. I can't even hardly remember the time on the stage. But I do remember the times beforehand, because what I looked forward to was the drive there.
Yeah.
And hopefully it was a 2-hour trip, so I had him to myself for 2 hours.
Right, yeah.
And I could just bounce every stupid thing I had in my head off of him.
Yeah.
Well, if your penis gets hard in the morning, it's probably, maybe you should have, I don't know, whacked off before you went to bed.
What about, but I mean, it's also about this. It's also about... Dude, you're
gonna make me cry, Travis. I swear to God, stop that.
Okay,
stop it. I don't know if I'm ready for that, because I'm telling you, that was spot on.
Yeah,
it was almost scary, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Rob and I mean, I know like everybody in the world thinks they have a special relationship with Rob Simrusty, but me, I had a special relationship with Rob Simrusty. Like, I knew him. Like, he was. I mean, this is gonna sound gay, but he was like inside my body somehow.
Yeah.
Like, I understood something about Rob, and I don't know if he knew that, but man, he was just so recognizable to me, unlike maybe anybody I've ever met.
And he liked me more, but you know what's funny about the whole thing is I told my wife earlier, and I feel bad about this because everybody loved Rob.
Yeah.
And come to find out, I wasn't that fucking special, because apparently everybody felt that.
Everybody felt that way. Everybody
did. Like cheated on. I was like, Rob, you've been getting around a little, haven't you? Anyway, it was a beautiful thing, though, and cheers to you, Rob, for enhancing my life. And I don't know where you're at now. I don't want to get into that kind of subject, but
doesn't matter.
His energy lives with me for sure.
Me too. We love you, Rob.
Yeah.
We will miss you.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at Rob in the Winter Wonderland here in his winter wear, 2012 winter wear series. As you can see, the very warm sleeves.
Yeah.
Keeps your nipples warm, that's all that matters.
Yeah. All right, here you go. Here's the snow and cloud cover.
Is it heading towards us, or?
Oops, shit. Fuck. There's Galesburg. Davenport. No, dude, look.
Did it hammer Davenport, or it went around them? It went around Davenport.
The worst of it's to the north.
Where we're at, kind of northeast.
No, we're way over here.
Okay. Well, we're about to get it.
Yeah, we're gonna drive through it.
Yeah, we're gonna drive through it.
Guess what's going towards Davenport? That little strip right there.
Yeah, it's gonna be snowing there. Okay.
Yep.
Well, we better roll it then.
All right.
How do you segue?
Yeah, you don't, man. You don't.
How do you
You
segue?
don't segue.
No, you don't, man.
But thank you guys for, if you didn't know who Rob was and you just listened to this podcast, thank you for listening to what we just said, because it sucks to lose people in your life. And at our age, I was thinking about this the other day. I run around, playing with my kids, and the way that you and I talk when we're out on jobs and stuff. I feel like I'm 18. And then I come home and I look at myself in the mirror and I go, who in the fuck is that? Who's that guy?
Yep.
And you realize, wait, I'm getting old.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be acting like a 41-year-old. Now, how exactly does a 41-year-old act? I don't know, but I don't think he runs around and, acts crazy like this.
No, probably not.
If you have kids, it gives you an excuse to act crazy.
Yeah. But do you understand what I mean? When when I watch football, I realize I look at them guys that are playing football like they're older than me and they're more wise and they've been around and they look like men to me. Yeah, and then I realize that they're half my age.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
And
insane.
they're
crazy.
And
That
they're
is
making
insane.
50 times what you make.
It doesn't matter so much about what they make. It's more about just their kids.
Yeah, they are.
Right.
They're kids. No, I look at them now and I think to myself, that person is really young.
Yeah.
Like I look at that,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember one time, I don't know, and this was still even a little while ago, and I was old then, I went to like some kind of, youngish kind of bar and ended up riding in the back seat of a car my brother was driving with these three girls. And, it was the two okay looking ones and the one really good looking one, and I'm just back there, me, I'm just shooting the shit. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to impress nobody or whatever, but I'm friendly with them. And then there's the one girl, the really good looking girl. She won't look at me. She won't talk to me. Right. And I was instantly pissed.
Well, yeah.
Because I was just like, hello, I don't know who you think you are or what you think I want from you, but I'm telling you, that ain't it. And I'm a human being, and you ought to treat me with some respect. And I was really pissed. And then later on, when I thought about it, I thought, no, that's par for the course when you're 20-something years old, because that's the game they're still playing.
Yeah.
How could I be anything except for somebody who's too old to be at the club and trying to get in their game?
I'll sum it right the fuck up for you.
Yeah, okay.
And I've said this a million times.
Sure.
I know, let's see, when I was in my 20s or whatever, and I had one solid color of hair except for this really cool gray streak in it.
Right.
Pretty sexy.
Yeah.
If I'd walk into a place or whatever, the girls would immediately make eye contact with me because they were wondering, first, what the fuck is that?
Right.
And second of all, like, how dare he be so fucking badass?
Right. He gonna walk in and just
Trying
be
to
a
look cool.
badass?
And now,
Yeah.
I don't know if any of that was true.
I was just going to ask when you woke up from that dream.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the way I
We
saw
all
it.
had that
Yes,
dream. haven't we,
I
Travis?
have, as a matter of fact.
That's the way I saw it. And so now, when I walk into a place like Walmart or anywhere, I literally, like, if
Right.
they're trying to get around me. They don't even realize I'm there.
Right.
And I put on my best Kiss shirt, and
The one with only 5 holes in it.
Yeah.
and meanwhile, my wife, like I said, she's getting stared at. People are driving into aisles and knocking, end caps off and shit, staring at her, and she could get laid any time of the day, any moment.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I would have to fucking write Congress and
Yes.
fucking,
Yes,
like,
dude.
oh, God
Yeah.
Take
damn.
out loans.
Exactly. Drive around in very expensive automobiles.
Yeah.
Things like this.
And she's worried about me
get
playing.
past the lines
She's
of
worried about
defense
me
on that.
playing in a band.
Oh, dude, no.
Heaven forbid. You're
my
constant.
God.
You're always in a band every time you wear yoga pants and go into the store.
They know you're broke now. I mean, that's the thing.
It used to be here's how you get chicks.
Yeah.
Be in a band.
There it is.
It
Yeah.
used to be.
Nowadays, here's
Yeah.
how you can not get any chicks.
Be in a band.
in a band.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So no, okay. Now, before we began filming and recording, I was listening to Ben soliloquize out in the living room
boy.
about his opinions on certain things, and actually, you brought back up one of the opinions that I just fundamentally disagree with. I don't think people are any different. Basically, I think they're the same as they always were. Some of the conditions surrounding people have changed as far as through what filters people interoperate with each other. But I think fundamentally people are exactly the same as they've always been.
I disagree.
Okay.
Because if you look at the world nowadays, like
if who looks at the world nowadays?
Anybody.
Like if I do? Like if I look at the world nowadays?
Brian, anybody.
Okay.
Because he and I talk about this all the time, about how, you look at these kids today, and I know that's like...
That's the old man statement.
Right. But no. When we were kids, our parents were teaching us how to be adults. They were preparing us for life. Kids nowadays feel that they have to get everything and do nothing. They feel entitled to that. Just, yep, I want it, give it to me. They don't know how to work for things, and it's an ongoing problem, and it scares the shit out of me.
Really?
About when these kids take over our world, because there's not they're no creative minds.
Okay.
There's no imagination anymore.
See, and this is what I'm saying, man. Is the argument that you're making is that there's something about the way that society works that has cost something that isn't replaced by something else. It's the same argument as saying that people don't know how to do math anymore because now they use calculators.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Is that it's not really different in that respect. People are just as entitled. They just have different, that sense of entitlement you're talking about.
Right.
People have always had that. They just had a different set of ideas about how to get at the thing the easiest way.
Oh, right.
What the low-hanging fruit are.
I'm not saying people didn't feel entitled.
Yeah, they did.
But we knew, like, our generation and the generations before us knew how to work and achieve those goals through effort.
Well, I'm saying that
kids nowadays don't seem to want to put forth any effort to get what they want.
This is what I'm saying is it's different. It's a different effort. Old man.
Okay, so I'm done with that subject at this point. I wanted to talk about a subject that I saw, and of course everybody's buzzing about it on the stupid Facebook. Why is it that we always talk about Facebook? It's such a prominent thing.
Right. Although speaking of old man, you just called it the Facebook.
Well, well, the Facebook on that computer machine.
On the computer machine?
Yeah, on the YouTube machine or whatever.
Yeah.
No, but I noticed that, on Grand Theft Auto 5, they call it Life Invader. They have listen.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to get too far into video game land, but...
Because people were pissed last time we talked too long about video games.
They were?
Yeah, I think so.
I loved it.
Oh, you loved it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Actually, the last episode was my favorite episode.
You gotta be kidding me.
He loved it.
There were other people that were just like, dude, you guys need to get back to talking about music.
Just because it was unexpected.
Chris Ermy.
He did?
Yeah, he was like, I'm sorry, dude, but that episode was boring.
I thought it was great. It was spontaneous.
Yeah.
It just flowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can't please everybody all the time, I guess.
So in Grand Theft Auto,
in Grand Theft Auto, you can get in a car and then you can go through the radio stations of what you want to listen to in the car that you just carjacked, and they have a talk radio station on there, and you could just listen to this kind of shit, but it's Grand Theft Auto style, which is, I don't know why they haven't, okayed the medical cocaine, but we definitely need to do it because and you just listen to this shit. It's so hilarious. It's funnier than fuck. Anyway, so what was I talking about?
I don't know. You were talking about Life Invader.
Facebook.
The Facebook.
And they go, you could go on our Life Invader page, and if you don't like what we're saying, we will double unfriend your ass off of Life Invader. So they call it Life Invader.
Well, it's spot on.
Kind of is, yeah.
Yeah. So I was reading here that Gene Simmons came out and said that rock is dead, and everybody way freaked out about
yeah.
Oh my God, Gene's an asshole, this and that. Did you read any of that?
I did read it, as a matter of fact, yeah.
I did.
And, while on the one hand, I know that there are still some pockets of rock, when it comes to, like, the big demographics that are actually going to move some units, rock is pretty much dead. I mean, I don't think he's wrong.
Well,
I don't know that it's dead. I think it's
ailing.
Uninspired right now.
Well, what do you call dead, though? Obviously, it's not dead because you still have rock and roll bands.
Oh, dude.
What Gene Simmons is talking about, he's talking about a different era. He's talking about selling 1 million records.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Dixieland Jazz is not dead.
Well, he's talking about record company support.
Yeah.
That the record company will sign you now, but they don't really care what happens after
The music business, as we knew it when we were coming up as kids, is dead.
Yeah.
The music business.
Yeah, where's our new rock station?
Yeah. It
Where's,
wasn't-
where's our new rock? Do we have a new rock station?
no, we have
No.
4 country
Well,
stations and 2
kinda.
classic
Do we?
rock stations.
What station can I
actually,
listen to some new rock
Dave
on?
and Darren now have. I just saw this on The Life Invader. They have a podcast that they do.
Fuck Benny.
It starts
fuck
at
you.
9 every morning.
I'm just kidding. You can't cross-contaminate.
Exactly,
podcasts,
dude.
man.
Fuck you back, Brian.
They ain't giving me $5 to
Yeah, right.
fucking talk about their fucking
I'm just
podcast.
Saying, I'm just
kidding.
Fade and random.
all I'm saying.
You got to put it in reverse,
is
man.
that they're playing old. They have 2 channels that they're doing.
Okay.
One channel is like the newer rock, like your 3 Days Grace and your
So
Modern-
it's
modern
just
rock.
music
Modern
that plays,
rock.
and then they
Yeah.
talk in
and
between
then-
or something.
I haven't seen the show.
Oh, okay. Well then, why are you talking
and then
about
the
it?
other one is our classic metal, like old Pantera and Slayer
Ah.
and good shit that we
Ah.
used to listen to growing up.
Right.
That made us all decide to pick up that stupid little 6-string and go, I can do that.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
that was
some of us worked
sorry,
out
but
well
was,
with that, and I didn't.
Hula
but-
hoops.
That was Ace Frehley
That was hula hoops.
in 1975.
But well, I'm saying they're playing the old stuff that still contains guitar solos and still centers on guitar.
Yeah. My
and
point
metal
is that
shit
rock and
that
roll-
made you feel emotion.
Like Davo, the guy that I look up to, I think he's a really good videographer and great person, hilarious. He put a post on one of our podcasts and said something. He put a big ass paragraph on there. I guess because on one of the episodes I sound like I wanted to kill myself or something. And, it didn't mean to sound like all negative. I just was trying to point out that being successful at something is just difficult to do, and not. It's kind of a luck thing sometimes.
that episode.
to be
But-
financially successful at it.
Yeah,
I mean,
but his point was,
Yeah.
he said that he's in the business. He's around a lot of these rock bands that are out there touring and doing everything that we think is making it.
right.
He says he knows of bands that have more than one number one song, and they're still struggling to get by in normal life, like, paying their bills and all these things. So it's not, he said the days of being a multimillionaire rock star are gone.
Yeah.
He said that he told me that the best-selling rock record of 2014 or 13, whichever, only sold probably about 400,000 copies.
Wow.
So that's
Because-
not even gold.
Wow.
So you're saying
Right?
sold as in people went to Walmart and bought it.
Yeah, SoundScan, boom. You've got,
Right. But how many did they sell online? That's the thing.
come
Well,
on, Benny.
but they have. But,
that's why.
Well, they're going to track all that stuff.
That's why the music business
SoundScan
is
follows
dead.
all that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why the music business is
What's
becoming
that?
dead.
That's why the
you can
record
get
business is
everything
dead.
you want
That's a digital
online.
single.
Yeah.
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 But I'm
So
saying
if you
can-
buy it on the internet, it still counts as
Yeah.
some sort of sale.
It does. It's not
Well,
album
that's what I'm
sales.
saying.
It's not an
Do those-
album sale,
do
but it's a
those-
single sale.
That's what I was asking. Do
Yeah.
those numbers only reflect CDs that people went and bought?
It's actually easier to take
Or
the data
That-
on the stuff
I
that's
think
sold
that's what I'm
online.
talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
is even if you bought the CD digitally or at the store,
Right.
If you bought the entire CD,
Yeah.
Yeah.
400,000 is the top rock selling CD of the last year. So
Well, see, I
terrible.
remember a few years ago, Vince Neil was talking about how the music business is changing like that. And he
and
said
also
that
his waistline
that changes daily.
at the same time.
But no, he was what he was saying is that if Motley Crue was going to produce any more records, they were probably going to be only 5-song EPs because people don't have the attention span to sit down and listen to an entire CD anymore.
I had this conversation with Pfeiffer, with Bill.
Yeah.
I said, Bill, why would you even fuck around with putting out CDs anymore? What I would do with him is I'd just write 3 songs, take the best one, put it out on a download, charge $2 on his website for the download, and he'll sell
right.
probably 300-400 of them.
Yep.
They're $600,
Boom,
without
yeah.
printing shit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So why even fuck around with that?
Yeah.
I mean, but speaking to the people don't have the attention spans. The medium that you used to have, CDs and records, you listened to the whole thing because it was kind of fucking inconvenient to turn the thing off. You had to go and get the thing and flip it over and dick with
Right.
it. You know what, man? There's a shitload of songs that I probably never would have listened to. I never would have fucking listened
And
to.
you know what?
But they were in between 2 songs I like.
But you know what?
Yeah.
You fell in love with some of those songs.
Yeah,
too,
that is
'cause
true.
You
I
were
mean,
like,
you
like,
eat your
"Damn,
vegetables, yeah.
This should be on the radio all the time.
That's right, that's
this
right.
is an awesome song, and then your friend
Yeah.
comes over and he's like, "Dude, that song sucks."
Yeah.
Well, I don't care.
You got
I
to
like
listen to it 8,000 times trying to get to the good shit, and then you'll love it.
You
Yeah.
mean they ermied out on you?
They ermied out.
Don't ever say MDR sucks, man. That hurts my heart and my ball sack.
You've been waiting. You've been wanting to call him out.
That one hurt, man.
That did.
That one hurt. And you. So
you know what?
So
you know
need a
what?
moment
He's
alone.
gonna love it even more.
I know, but
He's gonna love it even more.
Whenever my pride gets hurt like that, the next episode will be nothing but music. We won't even talk. Yeah. It's like, this next song is cool. Check it out, Ermy.
Yep, Chris Herman. This one goes out to Chris Herman.
Yeah, this one's for
and
Chris
this next
Herman.
one after that is for Chris Herman.
The whole episode is dedicated to Chris Hermy.
Yeah, listen though, you're going to get it from both ways. You're going to get people that say, "I don't even care about the local music." They think it's funny when we talk about stories or whatever we're talking about.
Yeah.
And then some people are all like, "Hey man, thanks for playing the music." And do they really care about the music that much, or is it just the talking about being in bands and stuff that people dig?
I don't know. It can be either one. I mean, people have all kinds of weird, fetishings with one side or the other of it. I mean, they just like to be around it and be, especially if you kind of know somebody. Man, if you know somebody that plays, oh boy.
Well, I can speak on that.
Yeah.
I'll just put it like this, man. I was thinking today about this, and I got to be honest. I don't give a fuck about the local scene.
Hey.
And let me tell you why.
All right.
Why would I want to be so prejudiced of any music because it's not in my local area, or if it's not in my local area?
Right.
Say if there's a band in Chicago popping off, am I supposed to be like, well, they ain't local, so fuck them?
No, of course not.
Or am I supposed to, I mean, obviously I understand what people are talking about as far as the working together in the local scene.
Yeah,
right?
it's not that you don't give a fuck about the local scene, though. You still support the local scene, but
if it's
not
good.
If it's good, but it's because it's good.
But I'm not going to say that, okay, I'm going to format everything that I do around the 25 bands
Right,
that are in this
right.
local area,
Yeah, no.
because 20 of them suck,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Or are still expanding or trying to get better.
Sure.
The way I look at it is like this. Being in a band is 1% of what it takes to be in a band.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
And I had Jacob Gregory drop by the other day just to hang out with me and sit for a bit, and we got talking, and he was explaining to me some things that are going on in their scene, and how basically he broke it down to me that if you become successful and start having people at your shows, the other people that are in the trenches per se are like, you guys are just, you're lucky you're in the trenches. What about us? We're in the trenches. You forget about us and you're getting all big headed and stuff. And you know how that goes. It always goes that way.
Yeah, yeah.
As soon as anybody starts to pop off,
Well, if
everybody's
somebody
buzzing about like how they.
it's usually
sell out.
it usually happens that when somebody starts to pop off a little bit and starts to have people showing up to their shows, then all of the people who know those people, hey, well, get my band on a show with you, and then if somebody gets a show and somebody else doesn't get one,
This is what's bothering me about the whole thing. I told him straight up. I said, you know what? Them people that are doing that are just trying to make you come back down to their level,
pretty much,
and they can suck your dick. Because if you're in a band and you're trying to do what you want to do, you want to make a living doing that, them people cannot fucking matter to you. They cannot matter to you in any shape or form. When you put a band together, your idea is to run it like a fucking business. And you've got a business plan and you're going to stay on that plan. This is something that I overlooked when I was doing this.
Sure.
And if I had it to do over again,
if your goal
I would have done it a lot differently.
If your
We'd
goal
be sitting in
is
that house that we cleaned today.
Well, part of thanks for being real. Part of making it is luck. Obviously, there's some luck involved, but you can't just go out and play at Rascals every once in a while and think that the big ship's going to pull up and take
Right.
you off into Neverland, right?
Right.
You're going to have to work, and you're going to have to prove that you can sell product. It is a fucking business.
Yep.
Okay, and especially in this day and age, you're going to have to move units.
yeah, right.
You're not going to be able to talk to a major label until you can move probably 5,000 to 10,000 units in your local area. Anybody capable of that? No?
Let me think
No
about it.
takers?
Yeah.
No takers?
Yeah,
Can you sell out the call ballroom? No? Well then, shut the fuck up.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You're going to have to do it on your own and grassroots shit.
Yeah.
So you're not going to turn any heads of major labels anymore. This is what I'm talking about, the rock and roll dead thing.
Yeah, because
Right.
if you're playing rock and roll, you're not going to sell out the call. That's the point. If you're doing like some fucking pop shit, or you're doing something that's R&B driven pop, or you're doing country. Modern pop country, then there's still a sizable enough demographic left over that will get into anything that sounds like that, and will like anything that sounds like that, and pay money for anything that sounds like that. It's still a large enough group that it's worthwhile to continue to, give grist to that mill. But I mean, now rock and roll is just like another, like a cottage industry. You know what I mean? It now no longer, it's so fragmented and diffuse. It's like it's really diluted. There aren't that many. You don't find big clutches of rock and rollers. Several thousand rock and rollers all in the same, neighborhood. It just that you don't have that no more.
Right.
How are you supposed to move units and sell out the call ballroom when there aren't that many rockers that are young? When they got to be young.
Here's what I like to see when there's local bands around here. This is what I like to see a local band do: is act like they're not a fucking local band.
Act like they're already
Act like
big.
you're a national band.
Yeah, right.
And everybody's, there's going to be, this is going to divide people.
Sure.
There's two kinds of people. People that think that that's an asshole statement, and people that have a chance of making it in this business.
But what does that mean?
I'm not done.
Yeah.
It means, here, I see this all the time. I go, say, for example, let's take a few bands. One being 1152, and another one being maybe a new band coming on the scene, okay? And they put on a show at Rascals. And they've got the show set up, and they're willing to, 1152 is willing to be cool to other bands. They're willing to strike the stage, let them have their drums up there and set up their rigs and all this shit and do their sound. And then by the time they get to play 1152, who's sold the most CDs and actually is the draw of why the people are there, they have to then set their gear up, do a real quick sound check, and go on. Maybe the sound man will catch what's going on by about halfway through the second or third song, and they'll get it dialed in about that point because they want to be cool to the opening band. Okay, I get you want to be cool to the opening band, but I'm there to see 1152, and I want to see 1152 play the songs that I bought on their CD, and I want to hear them songs sound as good as they possibly can from the first fucking note that I see. And I also want to see the stage, with their stuff up there, wait for them to come out. This is all old school stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them guys until they take the stage.
Yeah, right.
Because it causes a buzz.
Right.
If they didn't come out and you didn't see Dusty or any of them guys, and the stage was black, the fog was going, you're waiting for them, and all of a sudden the shit dropped.
Yeah,
and
Marshall Stacks,
all of a sudden,
dude,
here
fire.
they come. Here they come. You hear the amps humming, and you're like, they come to the, hey, what's up, man? They go up the stage, put the guitars on, what's up, dudes?
And
I'm like, you're gonna be like, yes. And if you were just talking to them about your gas and and like how my toe hurts and shit,
Yeah, right.
There's a little bit of magic that kind of. Anyway,
Yeah, that's
the
true.
thing is, for me, I want the whole show.
Right.
I want to see
Right.
something that's special, and that means,
Right.
sorry, opening bands, but until you get to what you're doing, what we're doing, selling this many CDs and being this productive and selling this many tickets to see us,
you're going to have to deal
you're
with
going to have to suck it up a little bit,
Yeah.
and we're going to be set up, and you're going to have to figure out how to run around that because maybe someday you'll surpass us,
Sure.
and we'll have to do that.
And
But I'm a believer in the headliner being the fucking headliner. You ever seen, you go see like Kiss or something, they're not going to, okay, dudes, Paul out in makeup, hanging out in the crowd,
Yeah.
fucking, going up to his,
Right.
in between bands, are putting their amps back up there. All right, man, you guys like that band? That was cool, huh? No, fuck no. Fuck no.
Nope.
Their shit's there. They're the headliner. There's a difference. Headliner and opening band. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
to me, that's like the difference between, hearing a band and seeing a band. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to go hear a band, I don't really care that much about any of that other aesthetic shit. I just care about the aesthetic of the sound, But if I'm going to go see a band,
I'm
and
into
especially
the-
if it's a rock band,
Exactly.
that's what I want. I want the show. I want the
Exactly.
psychological impact of the superior position of the stage. When you're on stage, you're fucking taller than everybody for a reason.
Own it.
Own it.
And I have very rarely seen bands that actually put on a show that way.
Right.
1152 does. Dusty gets into it. You can tell that he's kind of doing his thing. There's some things that if I was coaching them
Yeah,
as a band
right.
coach,
You
I would
were
be like,
manager.
All right.
Yeah.
Try this. I mean, I don't want you to be fake,
Yeah.
but anyway, it's presentation. The
Yeah.
music
Yeah.
is going to take you this far.
That's right.
But the magic is going to take you to the top.
That's right.
And
Right.
you've got to keep the magic
And
real.
it is a domain of diminishing returns. It's small differences
That's what I
that,
mean.
when all added together, end up taking something to like a whole other level.
Yeah.
Like all the little stuff, all the little details.
I lived through an era that had shit music, but the hype was right, and you watch shit bands
Yeah.
sell millions of records.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying that you have to tease your hair out and do the whole 80s thing again, but I do believe that there's something to be said about that magic
The
and
show.
the hype,
The show.
the flash or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do I want to say? The hype. Hype.
Hype.
I'll tell you what the most successful tool that Drop Hammer used when I was in Drop Hammer, and we got kind of like a little bit of respect in the community at the time. I thought we did. It seemed like we did. The best tool that we utilized was hype. People talking, people saying things, and withdrawing and then coming out and making it a big show. Like instead of standing around talking to everybody, we stayed back.
Right.
And then when we came out, that's the first time you saw us.
Yep.
And
That's cool,
there was
man.
something to be said about that. People were like, "Oh, cool! They're treating it like a real fucking band.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They're putting on a show.
Yeah.
If you want to hang out with your friends, have beers, meet them sometime. Go have beers with them. You know. But
Right.
when you're doing a gig, man,
Put on a show.
Yeah.
And there were,
Yeah.
there were shows that Drop Hammer did that I might have been present for one or two of those. Okay, pretty much every show they did from '99 on,
You were
I
there?
was there.
Yeah.
sorry about that.
Yeah, so am I. No, but there were a few shows. For a while, Robbie Barr was running QC Live downtown. And he was bringing in some decent acts.
Yeah,
he
I
was
remember
bringing
that.
in Firehouse, Bret Michaels, national names.
Oh, yeah.
And
Not to-
there were people that didn't give a shit about those names. There were times when Brian
He's a
and
fanboy, by the
Yeah,
way. So
right.
you got to remember this.
That's right.
No, Brian and Jerry and Terry would be back waiting for their set to begin, and you'd see Brian's eyes light up because the whole crowd is chanting "Drop Hammer,
Oh, sweet.
Drop Hammer," and they didn't. They did. The stage was black.
Yeah.
There was nothing. You'd see them come up on the stage.
This is
and
mythic.
The crowd would go nuts, and then boom, the music would kick in. There was no bullshit with, "Hey, did you guys like that first band? Because we sure did. They were friends of ours from back in the day."
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
they
so-
did. But I understand what you're saying. Is that you did? That's the tool that you utilized.
I appreciate that. That's the way that you saw it.
You
but
made it something to see.
well, we tried to because
You
that
know?
was kind of what went along with being in a band. Like I said, unless you're going to be one of them kind of bands that are a laid back kind of band.
It's a
that
different vibe.
Is more of a coffee shop atmosphere thing. Obviously, you're not going to have a smoke machine go off and then you come running out in leather pants and be like, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding. How
Yeah.
you guys doing tonight?
Yeah,
Ding.
all right.
It's fucking
All right.
pyro and shit.
But,
play
but
right.
I don't know about you guys. You guys are out and about more in the music scene than I am down here.
Yeah, okay.
I live in Clinton, so there's no music scene there.
You guys got some. You got some odor scene though.
Yeah, not my end of town. I live on the north end. But I don't, from what I have seen recently, you don't hear people chanting for bands to come out right now.
And you're talking about cover bands too. There's a lot of that, and obviously
Yeah,
that's
right.
going to be a different
Right,
story.
no, I'm
But
saying
this
like
scene is-
1152 and 3 Years Hollow, you don't hear them chanting. Now, I don't.
I
you
have-
guys might.
Yeah,
you guys
yeah,
might
yeah.
get
I-
that.
like I
heard
said,
him.
this
I've heard
might be a
chanting.
completely old man thing to be talking
Yeah,
about
right.
because that might be the way it's done now, is to
Yeah.
hang out and be one of the crowd. That might be the new
It might
formula.
be. It
but
might
for
be.
me,
We don't know.
I'm sitting there going, no, guys, no.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have to act like you're above them. And I'm sorry that
Yeah.
that sounds fucked up to people.
No.
But that's what drew me into it and what made me buy records.
Yeah.
It made me feel like I was looking up to something.
Right.
And to be lucky to be hearing them doing what they're doing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I know exactly
If
what
I
you
just
mean.
had
I know
dinner,
exactly
if I
where
just
you're
had
coming
dinner
from.
with Ace Frehley and Paul Stanley, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you know, guys, I'll stay for a few tunes, but I'm getting
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
Right.
You'd be
Exactly.
kind of burnt out on the whole thing.
You wanted to see what was going to happen next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I think what Brian's getting at is it isn't about just what you do; it's about what you don't do.
Yeah.
Right.
It's about what you don't do.
Right.
You know, when a magician does a card trick, it's all about making sure that the person watching never sees it from an angle that shows what the
Right.
shit is that's
Right.
going
There's
on.
a
and makes it
reason
look
why
dumb,
when you say that you're going to go see a band, you're saying, "Oh, I'm going to go see the show." It's a show.
it's a show.
It's a fucking show.
Yeah, right.
It's supposed to be a show.
People forget about that. There's so many, even cover bands. They fucking make me sick. I go to see a cover band, and here they are, they're all standing there in their khaki shorts and their flip flops and like some Hawaiian shirt.
That's me.
And that's you.
That's me.
And I'm just saying that. Well, then I'm sure
Super
that
cool. They got
everybody-
Robin Williams on guitar.
Yeah, and everybody else was doing the same thing. But I'm saying, what do the Travoltas do? I don't know. They dress up like something.
They do.
Okay.
Yeah, right. And they do costume changes and shit
Sure.
like that.
What does Cheese Pizza do? They have a gimmick.
God, yeah.
To me, I'm just saying.
No, I agree.
But usually the cover bands that are standing there in flip flops are like crying about the other bands and how they're so much better of a band and blah, 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 blah. How come we don't get the draw that blah, blah, blah gets?
Right.
Because you have nothing that interests people.
Here, it's because people don't give a fuck how good you are.
That's right.
Okay.
End of story.
All right, here we go. Maybe this is what it is. If you don't present yourself as an authority, how can you give anyone permission to party?
Well put.
Very well put.
Well put.
Next subject. Talk amongst yourselves. Anyway, I just wanted to make a distinction between around here, especially with headliners and opening bands, and not that you got to act like a dick to them, but just say, "Hey, look, man, it's an 11:52 show. Sorry, if I was their manager, that's the first thing I would do is make sure their backline was set up and sound checked and ready to go."
So
Right.
all they got to do is hit the stage and go.
And I don't want Dusty hanging out having beers with people out in the crowd before the show. I don't. Because that's going to take a toll on his voice.
After the show's fine.
Yeah.
I want him fresh, confident, and ready to go.
Yep.
And fucking put the best, because we're here to hear, they're there to hear their music.
Yes.
Right.
And see the show.
Yes.
Okay. And then afterwards, fuck, have all the beers you want, man.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, if I was in there managing a band like that, there's certain things that I would be changing.
And who
about that
knows,
kind of
after
stuff.
this episode, you might be managing
No,
their
they do
band.
not want me to manage. Them guys work harder than I can work right now. Let me tell you.
Right, yeah.
Them guys
Yeah.
are hard workers. They know what they're doing, but they just I don't know if I don't know, man. It's like they're sitting in neutral. You know, they're
Right.
revving that engine.
Yeah.
And it just needs somebody to kick that fucker in and let off
Yeah.
the clutch because
Yeah.
it's going to go somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
But where is it going to go? Are they willing to quit their jobs and go on the road and eat shit? I don't know. That's left to be told yet, right?
Right.
Well, again, it's just a numbers game, and you may have the greatest. I'll just say it again. You may have the greatest Dixieland jazz band that has ever taken the stage. You know what I mean? But
if you can't generate interest in that,
yeah,
who
where
cares?
do you go and play if you're a Dixieland jazz band? And that's kind of what's happening with hard rock. And it sucks because we hate to see our dreams of youth and avarice die. But, I don't know that the numbers really can support the myth anymore.
Yeah.
It's really, really difficult. That's why it's so tough out there, man. It's like it's like a shrinking puddle in the
Yeah.
fucking desert, you know?
And to bring it back full circle, rock and roll is not dead,
Right.
but the rock and roll music business is
Yeah, the record
dying.
business is
Yes.
dying, yeah.
Because people think that rock and roll is something that you can touch. It's something you could go buy. It's something that you could it's not. All rock and roll is a fucking feeling.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yep.
Rock and
It's
roll,
an attitude of freedom.
and in that respect, there is always going to be some amount of rock and roll, if not, explicitly rock and roll music, of that rock and roll ethic that's built into all these other forms of music, because that is really, as much as anything, what people crave. The reason why rock and roll was so great is because it showed people freedom. It set people free. And when people come across music that they see that it can set them free somehow, that is what is rock and roll, and that is what is rock and roll in that music.
Performing in a rock band is basically just giving people the outlet that they need in their lives that they can't do, and letting them see it and go, wow, man, that's really cool. That makes
Yeah.
me feel good watching him be free.
Yeah.
Right.
Wish I could be
That's
like that.
Exactly. That's not that far off from what I'm saying. It is the
Yep.
removal of limits. Even if you're just seeing the removal of limits for someone else, you can live vicariously through them.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
Absolutely.
it is like living in the Great Plains and looking at pictures of mountains every day, knowing someday you're gonna climb one. You know what I mean?
It's like
that.
If I give you $5,
Oh, goddamn. You can't bust out inside stories on NPR, man.
No.
You can't. What the fuck?
guys-
You got to think these things out, Benny. You got to think these things.
Is he operating above his pay grade here? Is this what's happening?
Good Lord, man.
no, I just felt the time was right.
Okay, see, this is episode 27. You're fucking episode 1 right
Yeah.
now, okay?
That's
and you
right.
just busted out an inside story
Let's make that clear.
that nobody's going to fucking understand.
No. So edit it out.
Edit.
See, that's kind of going through we're breaking in good because people go, he's so mean to him.
Yeah.
He knows that he don't
For
care.
anybody
Yeah.
watching, this is the relationship Brian and I have had for 15 years. The very first time I worked for him, he fired me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And has subsequently done so about, I don't know, 3,000 times.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah. Fired every night, hired every morning.
Yeah.
Okay,
pretty
so
much.
basically, like, Benny was hired to be the bitch, he said, right?
Yeah.
He'd just do whatever we wanted him to do. And it wasn't like we were treating him bad. It's just,
No.
wow, another guy that's on our side.
All right.
That wants to do shit for us. Hey, I'll get you guys beers. You guys hang out in the back room here and you know, all that stuff.
Yeah,
that
right.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Make sure we have towels and waters and things like that. And do sound checks. Sometimes he moved up to the, like, checking the guitars.
Sure.
And he'd go up there and play, like, Seasons of the Abyss or something by Slayer. And I'm like,
One time I did that.
no, you go up there. Here's what you do, Benny. You go up there. You make sure the microphone touches you on the forehead because he's a lot shorter than me.
Yeah,
Right.
and it worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
And all I want to hear from the dressing room was
Seeing the Steelers logo.
Bow.
no check in the mic.
Yeah.
Okay, that the monitors were working, and then I just wanted you to turn the guitar on and go chook 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 chook.
That's
Like
it.
that, and then shut it back off, put it on the stand. And here's this butthole, his first time out checking in front of a sold out house. You know, it's his time. You know? And then, of course, as soon as he played that riff, people were like, yeah. And then he thought it was the Benny show. You know,
Yeah. And I'm standing there and I'm like, you guys ready for Drop Hammer? And I'm
Yeah.
like promoting them. And I'm getting looks from the side of the stage
Yeah.
because I can't remember. I think it might have been Z-Man that was doing it at the time.
Yeah.
Who
He
would
knew.
actually announce
Yeah,
them.
he knew this shit wasn't
Yeah, I
kosher.
took his job.
Yeah,
I
right.
know it.
it's like shut that
So-
guitar tech guy up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And it was fun times.
yeah.
Pay
So
grade.
so
Pay
Benny's
grade.
up there being
Mind
a
your
rock
pay
star.
grade.
You know, he's like, damn, these people like me. Fuck
No.
Drop Hammer.
Yeah. I was going to do the whole show all by
This is
myself.
my
Yeah.
big break, man. It's my
Yeah.
big break. Whatever.
And he got laid that night.
No.
Big time.
No, I probably did.
No, he probably didn't.
I probably did.
He'll find some way of ruining that.
Yeah.
Trust
You're
me.
not a closer.
So anyway, so he really wasn't a guitar. He wasn't a guitar tech per se. But he.
No, I
you know-
tried. That's when I first got fired.
Okay, here's
He broke a string.
Here, I'll tell the fucking
Okay.
story.
Well, I know
Listen,
what happened behind
Yeah,
because-
shut the fuck up, man. Jesus.
This is a podcast, dude.
No,
Shut up.
dude. Okay, now wait a minute. Before you begin this, with some amount of silence before and after, I want you to say the words, I deserve this. So that way we can edit it in anywhere without any fucking continuity problems. So anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, he's not a guitar tech, but I tried to force him to be because I hate tuning guitars and changing strings and all that, and I'm trying to get him trained to do this. And first of all, he could look at the guitars behind me on the wall probably, and I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna quiz you. Okay.
All
All right. Where is the pickup?
Seriously?
Yeah. Where's the pickup at?
Which one?
I don't know. On the Charvel right there, on the red Charvel. Where's the pickup?
Down by the bridge.
Okay, cool.
All right.
I'm just wondering because
Okay.
like back then he wouldn't have known that.
Okay, all right.
Because
Yeah, actually, I would have.
no, you wouldn't have because this asshole. I pop a string, right? I pop my A string.
Yep.
E, was it my E?
E.
Okay, so he takes the.
Which
This is
E?
why I should be telling the story.
Which
'cause I
E?
remember.
Was it the high E or low E?
Low.
Low E.
So you popped the low E.
Really? You don't remember this story very
Really?
Okay, I'm taking this over.
No,
Okay.
no, it's not right because you replaced it with an acoustic string.
Oh,
That was
for
an E,
fuck's
because
sake.
it-
So you
no,
got a big gold
no.
string
Yeah,
on there?
I had a big gold
It was
fucking
the
string.
only E string he had in the toolbox.
Shit.
Okay?
It wasn't.
And yes, it was.
You know how a pack of Diodarrios
Yep.
comes and they're flat and it
Yep.
doesn't feel like there's anything in them, but
Yep.
I had like 3 of them in there.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only one I could find, and he needed
He found
guitar back.
the old one from when I
Now.
was 14 years
Right,
old in
right.
the bottom of my tool case, the
Right.
Dean Markley fucking
Right.
nickel. You know.
No, John Pierce strings. What the fuck?
He needed
No
it
bay.
now. So I was doing my best to
Okay.
get it to him now.
So of course it's the wrong gauge and it's a floating tremolo. So
And
when
he-
you tune
yeah,
it up
so how
to
do
E,
you
the whole
stick-
bridge fucking goes like
Right,
this.
that, and then like, how do you get? I think he like tightened down the little gold ring.
Right.
In
Oh,
the, in
dude,
the
he
fucking
just
saddle.
put the ball end in there. You didn't
Just
clip or
left
put
the
it in
wi-
backwards.
The wound part out over the.
Oh, you fucking dumbass.
no, I did not. So, anyways,
Brad Gillis is rolling over and over in his grave.
I bring the
He's
guitar
not even
back out
dead.
to Brian, and it was actually the one with the Redskins logo on it,
Yeah.
which he calls Redskin.
Okay.
I brought it back out, handed it to him.
This is fascinating, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
He puts a guitar on, turns it up, just hits an open E chord, and as soon as I heard that, I went, "Oh fuck!" And he says, "Okay, 1, 2, 3, everybody, Benny's fired."
Yeah.
Right.
It was
And that
fun.
was the first time I got fired.
That
Yeah,
was
but
the
you
first
didn't.
time?
You didn't know what you were doing, and
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend could have been a burn victim or an amputee or a dead body. But God damn, I wanted to fuck. What? I just thought of that. I don't know where it came from.
That's
That's a Pantera song.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's where Benny came from. He's been around me for years and years and years, and I beat up on him all the time.
Yeah.
He's a good guy, though. He's a loyal guy, and he sees it from a different perspective. And when he tells the stories back to me years later, I'm like, that's way cooler than I remember it. But all right, I'll take that.
I think Ben, you and maybe he kind of has this in common with Jeff too. That there's some like legendary component to the way you remember like The Rock. You know what I mean? Like Rock
I still had
Rock
that.
has still got that like fucking, you know, gray wolves and eagles and fucking mountains and shit, you know, like fucking, you know, Grim Reapers and skulls and fucking.
Oh, that's easy to do, man. Just
you know
smoke
what I mean?
a bowl and put on some old Maiden
There
or
you
something,
go,
which you hate, I know.
Which I
but-
hate. I can't stand that shit.
But yeah, that's where it's at. I can still find it. I can still, at 41 years old, have moments of that where I'm like still back in the. I can go back to the kid.
Yeah, me too. And I know I talked to you about this a while ago. But the thing that brings me back every time is when I'm playing through a good guitar amplifier with a good guitar and I turn it up loud.
Oh, yeah.
Like as soon as I turn it
yeah.
up loud and I've got control and it just is hitting me and everything is so clear and it's just like, oh, yep. That's, I mean, the hair is standing up on my arms right now as I think about it.
You know what?
I can bring it back just like that, man.
Man, that's awesome. You know
It's
what brings
great.
it back for me is having my dick out through my vinyl pants and have my wife sucking on it while I'm counting 20s. That's what does it for me. What?
Why not hundreds?
Because we're a cover band. Because rock and roll's dead,
I'm
motherfucker.
about to hit the C notes.
Told you rock and roll's dead.
Yeah, dude.
So, you know, I don't know. I'm going to be really honest, and you guys can fucking try to lie, but I'm going to bust you on it.
I'll start lying
I'm
immediately.
going to bust you on it.
Okay.
But I believe that every man in the world, no matter how much of a beard and deep voice and big ball sack and everything you got, has a man crush. And I'm not talking about a crush like wanting to have sex with a man, but there's a man that they look up to that they would like to be like, right?
Like a
related
bromance.
to them or not related
like
to
a
them?
bromance.
I don't know about a bromance, but just like a man crush. I had one. I'm going to tell you who I have a man crush on.
Okay, all right.
Right now, today.
Okay.
As we sit here.
All right.
My man crush is Joe Rogan.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
He's like one of my favorite dudes on the planet. I wish that I could do what he does. I mean, he gets paid to talk.
Ah.
You know, get it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Can you see how I'd look up to a guy like
Oh,
that?
yeah. You can see how I would, too.
And he gives zero fucks about anything. That, you know, he just understands.
Sure, yeah.
That people aren't going to like you and fuck them.
I think mine is, and this is going to be really obscure. People that know the group will know. I think mine is actually right now Jordan Zadarozny from Blinker the Star. It's a band that came out in the early 2000s. I recently became Facebook friends with him, and his album for me, August Everywhere, is one of my favorite albums ever recorded. I mean,
Wow.
he's huge. He's like a huge influence on me songwriting wise, and I recently became, but he never really got famous, so like I'm Facebook friends with him and he keeps putting these posts up and I want to comment on them, but I don't want to sound like a dickhead.
Dude,
so I'm just waiting for the right moment when I'm gonna impress Jordan Zadarozny.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
I'm Facebook friends with Lita Ford.
Yeah.
Okay. Which actually, cool story about Lita Ford.
Oh,
When they
here
did,
we go.
No.
Yeah.
When they did that show here in Davenport recently,
Yeah.
or in Moline recently,
Uh-huh.
I became friends with her the day after that, and as a long shot, I put a comment on there that my son enjoyed the show so much, we went out and got him a BC Rich guitar that day
Sweet.
from Music Around, and she actually commented back.
All right.
All right,
It
so
was
who-
really
who's
cool.
your- who's your
but I
man
want to know.
crush?
So
Who's your man
I noticed
crush?
you very like slickly started talking about a woman. Who is
Yeah.
your man crush?
Yeah. Get your little dick
well,
out.
No,
Come
I
on.
was
Yep.
just. I was.
And-
making
and
the
if you
point
say
that
Brian Minor,
on Facebook,
That's just beyond the fucking pale.
actually.
If that happens, I'm going to stop this podcast, delete it all.
I know
and,
why.
Yep. Yeah.
I know exactly why he was bringing this up because we
Okay.
were actually talking about.
Oh,
this
you
today.
okay? All right.
And yes, I have to say, for a long time, I did idolize Brian
Oh,
as far
fuck.
as a musician.
This
Because-
is fucked up,
because-
dude.
now wait,
I feel
wait.
like I just like walked into a room
Are
and
we
shit was
being
going
honest
on.
or not? Are we being honest?
We are being honest.
Okay.
Sexing.
And
How would you combine the words awkward and honest? Would it be like honest?
okay. And I told him it was because I saw him doing the things that I wished I could do.
There you go. Yeah.
I can't sing like he does. I can't hit those high notes, but I wanted to.
Right.
I can't play guitar like he does, but I want to.
Yeah.
You know, so for the longest time it was him. Then I started working with him all the time, and now I can give a fuck less about this guy.
See, you saw the man behind
exactly,
the
dude.
Right.
Exactly, man.
The magic is gone.
Just like all my ex-girlfriends.
Yep. They're like,
The magic is
that
gone.
Brian's a badass, and,
So,
and he don't take a bath much, and he farts a lot. Yeah.
honestly, I really don't. I can't think of anybody that I have a man crush on right now.
you know what that's it?
I really don't.
Ben Roethlisberger,
No,
dude.
Mm-mm.
You know what that sounds like to me?
a liar.
Denial.
Yeah.
No,
That's
no,
denial.
no.
And then when I say
No.
it's denial, what does he say over and over
He
again?
denies
no,
again.
no,
Yeah.
no.
No,
I'm
let
not
me
saying
clarify.
you're not
Let
doing
me
it on
clarify.
purpose. You're not doing
Let
it
me
on purpose.
clarify.
All right.
It's not that I don't have one. I just don't know who it is right now. I can't think of any names off the top of my head.
Okay.
You know, like I'm sitting here, I'm like, well, there's that guy, but nah, he's all right. You know, and it's like,
Did you just say there's Zach Alex?
no,
Zach Alex.
no, God, no, hell no.
I mean, you do realize that is also Brian.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Or has he successfully-
it's his mini-me?
Perpetrated.
No, it's
deception.
just I can't think of anybody right now that really sticks out in my mind that I'm like, I want to be like that person.
Now, did you just say sticks out in my mind when talking about a man crush?
Is this a gape? Is this a
See,
gape
I
part
think
of this,
this is where I'm
Travis?
gaping you.
This
Is
a
that
gape. Okay.
here's what it is, man?
All right.
Is that the cool thing about denial when it's in other people anyway? is it's not so cool when it's happening to you.
No.
Is that you have willfully forgotten things and then willfully forgotten that you willfully forgot them. So in other words, not only do you not remember who your man crush is, you don't remember on purpose, and then you don't even remember that you blotted it out on purpose.
Okay,
But this just speaks to how strong the desire is, because I'm just saying this, man, is that probably what it means is that Brian and I are not gay, and you are gay.
well,
That's kind of what I'm saying.
well, let's just go with this. I'm not gay.
Okay.
I'm not gay. Brian can
There's
attest.
nothing wrong with
Yeah.
being
Brian
gay, by
can
the way.
attest.
And by the way,
To
who
this.
was the third dude you just talked to? Because I bet you're gay for him.
Yeah, his imaginary gay friend.
Exactly, man. Either that or it was all Brian.
There's three Brians
There's
sitting
three
over here.
Brians.
There's Zach Alex, there's Brian Myers.
He's the one in the middle.
Yeah.
Brian's the one in the middle.
Yeah.
He's the one that sticks out in
'cause
your mind.
Back in those years when we were all hanging out and partying together and everything, Brian would consistently, all the time, say to me, "How do you get laid so much? You are the ugliest son of a bitch I know." And I'd say, "I don't know. I guess I just do it."
Yeah. So you are a closer. You are-
No, he's
you are.
definitely a closer because every
Yeah,
girl he's ever
closer.
walked by has had his kid.
Yeah.
Well, not quite. But
Like I introduce them and they're fucking already thinking of names and shit.
Yeah.
you know?
and this is because there was
Brian.
a
I'd like to name this
situation
kid
in
Brian.
Clinton.
What do you think of Zach Bryan?
There was a situation in Clinton where two women
Alexander
accused me
Zachariah.
of being the father of their children.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I had never met either one of these girls in my life.
That's interesting.
It was a case of same first name, different last name.
Oh.
So then it became the joke that I can knock a girl up from across town.
Yeah,
I don't even have to be in the room. I don't have to be anywhere near her. All I gotta do is just let her know my name.
What would that be called? That would be called like telefertilization.
It'd be ninja sperms.
Ninja sperms, exactly.
So I was thinking about that too, and every time I see my kids, I think of the odds, and how many each load has like a
Millions.
kabillion sperm in it, right?
Yeah.
And there's one egg that it's seeking, right? And then all of a sudden there's this kid born, and that's the champion sperm right there. That's
the one
winner.
that won.
That's
Exactly.
the strongest one.
Yeah, right.
And you're looking at it shitting its pants and drooling on itself, and
Right.
"Rah," and you're going, "You're the champion, get up!" It's like, you're the best one I had.
This is as good as it got.
I got two champions out there, you
You
know.
do, that's right, man.
And they both like have boogers hanging out of their nose sometimes, and
Yeah.
Which
great
makes
kids.
you wonder how bad were the rest of them that didn't
Yeah,
make it.
I'm pretty sure that like about 750,000 of them stopped to smoke a cigarette somewhere right past the vaginal opening.
Yeah. I could have been the one. I could have been a contender.
This happened today. You know, Benny works with me. I do carpet cleaning. We talked about this.
All right.
We cleaned a house today that I don't know what kind of house everybody lives in. I know that, Travis, you have a decent house.
I got a pretty decent house.
You have
yeah.
a decent house?
Yeah.
You ain't got nothing like this.
No, I'm sure I don't. I'm sure
This
I don't.
house made it look like you were living in a third world country.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to rip on you. You have a gorgeous house.
No, I love my house.
And I have a cool house, and you know, I don't know. He's a homeless, I think.
and
I'm pretty sure he lives in that camper in my backyard.
yeah, right.
It's not even on a truck. It's just on a stand. You know what I mean? It's on them forward leg stands.
Right, yeah.
Whatever.
No. Either that or Ben goes out to find some place that's got good hourly rates.
No.
So we're in this house, and it's just a reminder of like, how in the fuck can you have a house like this? What in the hell do you have to do to live like this?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about, 4 big ass master bedrooms upstairs, each one with a full bath, shower,
Right.
Common area upstairs. Let's see, downstairs, nothing but fucking custom built-in everything. Like
Right.
the office is
Yeah.
all just it's all wood,
Oh, yeah.
cherry
It
wood,
was
beautiful,
Gorgeous.
Yep.
And we're like, oh my god,
This
that
is-
room's worth more than my house right
This
there.
is how you do it. You have to serve Satan without fail, or
No, I've tried that. It doesn't work.
see, you failed.
Oh,
see,
okay.
that's my point, and
Okay.
but or the other option is you have to be the child of someone who served Satan without fail.
I'm thinking, even if I became a rock star right now, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to afford that house.
No, hell no.
And I'm thinking, well, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, and chances are that the amount of time that a person has to spend in service of keeping up that kind of those kind of living conditions makes it so that it's difficult or impossible for them to enjoy it in the way that you might.
No.
I often wonder that. I often wonder when
On the
these people
outside
have
looking
houses
in.
like this, if they actually are there ever.
Well, see,
First of all,
this house, are you talking about the jobs that you have to support the running
time
of this
you have to
house?
put
I'm
into
telling you
it.
about
or
the
the time you have to put in cleaning the house.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the maintenance in that respect. I'm talking about
I was
the
gonna say, 'cause
financial
these people,
upkeep. The financial
This is the
upkeep.
kind of house where they pay other people
Dave, sure,
to do
yeah,
their
absolutely,
shit.
absolutely, yeah. You would figure that because otherwise you would literally have no time to do anything ever.
No.
I mean, if you have enough money in order to be able to afford a house like that, you certainly have enough money to afford to not have to clean it because you'd spend all your time being after it all the time.
Dig this. So these people live in this, basically I call it a mansion.
Yeah.
When you come up to a house and there's 3 2-car doors, 2-car
Yeah.
garage doors
Yeah.
in a row, and you could basically park 6 cars in there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So, I
huge,
mean,
yeah.
what?
That's big. Yeah.
So anyway, that's the kind of house that we're dealing with, and there's them people, and I wonder, they have kids, and do they see their kids very often? And I just wonder how that dynamic works.
I'll bet they enjoy it as much as they can, but I doubt that they would be able to enjoy it, as much as you would if your amount of free time that you have now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, see, that's what. And then
I
on
understand
you know what I
exactly
mean?
what you're
You know what I
saying.
and then on
Yeah.
the complete flip side is I go to get kerosene for my truck, and I go down to the gas station on the west end of Davenport, and there's a man that lives in, like I said, I was
A truck camper.
I joked
Yeah.
about it earlier, but
Yeah.
he's got a truck parked next to the garage or the gas station there, and he lives in the camper that's on the back of it.
Right.
And he lives there.
Right.
And he works at the gas station, helps out as much as he can.
There you go.
And that's his whole world, man. He has
Yep.
no expenses except for gas for his truck, buddy.
Yep. So so the question is, who's free?
Yeah, who's free?
Who's free?
Right.
It's just a weird thought because I laughed at him. I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that fucker lives in that thing." And then I got thinking about, let's see, no mortgage. He maybe makes $150
That's
a
right.
week helping out.
That's right.
The $150 is just for whatever, and he can just go to some other gas station in
Exactly.
some other state at any given
Exactly.
time. And
That's
hey,
right.
can I live out here and I'll be your helper?
Yeah. Right.
So.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll find somewhere.
So, are you saying that I should pursue a career as a bitch?
Vagabond.
Are you?
A bitchabond, a bitch
There you go.
vagabond.
Yeah.
Bitch vagabond.
Just be everybody's
Vagabitch.
Yeah.
Vagabitch. I
There
like
you go.
that. I like
Yeah.
that. Vagabitch.
Find the B in the word and then attach bitch.
Vagabitch.
Have you ever been to Vegas?
No, I have not.
Have
not
you?
once.
Oh yes.
You've been to Vegas.
Oh yes.
I have, however, been to Mexico City. Have you been there?
I have not been to Mexico
Have
City.
you been to Mexico
I've
City?
been to Rudy's
No, never
Tacos.
been
Okay,
there.
see, so
Yeah.
it's not the same, Brian.
No. Let me tell you, the casinos in Mexico City and the all-night Elvis marriage chapels in Mexico City are something to behold.
What goes on in Vegas that you can admit?
I'll tell you.
Because what happens there stays there.
Yeah, right.
It's
If
the
you
rule.
follow the rules.
No, sometimes what happens there comes back home and
follows you
itches
home.
like a
Exactly.
motherfucker.
Exactly.
Probably.
That's true.
What goes on in Vegas is anybody who has and this will run the entire distance between the most pedestrian, ordinary, common, indulgent pleasures all the way up through the most highly specialized, unique, evolved, twisted, sick, whatever you want to call it, eccentric pleasures. That's what goes on in Vegas, and everything in between. That's what goes on in Vegas.
So basically, what you're saying is everything.
Feeding the monster. That's what goes on in Vegas.
Sounds boring.
No, actually,
Fuck off with that.
No. No,
Look!
I'm serious.
In this one, this is how serious I am because I can't use any other fucking. It says Brian. It says Brian right on it. Nobody else uses this fucking. This right
I was
here.
born in 1975.
That's when I was born also.
Okay.
Same year.
So we're the same age,
Yep.
basically. Kiss came to play my hometown of Erie, Pennsylvania in 1979.
Ah.
At that time, my dad was a news anchor for one of the local TV stations.
Interesting.
Now, this was during the time when people thought the KISS stood for Knights in Satan's Service.
Right.
So it was a huge controversy that KISS was coming to play our town.
Ah, wow.
Okay. So my dad went to cover this story. Somewhere in my mom's house or my dad's house, somewhere there is a picture of my dad holding me in his arms and two members of KISS one on either side of him.
Uh-huh.
This is a legit story.
Didn't happen unless you have a picture.
I
Find
don't
it.
have the picture.
Find it.
I'll find
Stop
out.
talking. Just stop talking. Just stop talking. Can't
So-
prove it. Where's the picture?
Well, no, but here's the point of the story. Is Ben has a legitimate claim to have been exposed to KISS and not dig it.
Well, keep in mind I was 4.
Did Paul Stanley touch you weird? Just be honest.
I don't know, dude. I don't remember anything about
blocked
this
it out.
experience.
I'm telling you.
That's probably
you
what
are.
it was.
You're
That's
riddled.
probably what it was.
You are riddled with denial.
Yeah, that's got to be
See,
it.
yes, that's the correct answer to the you are
okay,
riddled with
now
denial.
let me ask: is this actually a podcast, or is this we're psychoanalyzing me?
Yeah, we're psychoanalyzing.
Because I'm starting to
Ben.
think that's what's really
Yeah,
going on
That is
here.
what's really going on here.
Because I think I'm going to walk out of here crying, and I'm going to drive home, and I'm going to be all.
Hey.
I don't think
It's
so.
okay.
Travis is right. I suck.
I'll let you know that sometimes you have to feel the hurt
Yeah.
before you feel the love.
Channel
Yes,
your
this
inner
is
Chuck
true.
Norris. Channel your inner Chuck Norris.
Yeah,
Be impervious. Be
Look
impervious.
at that beard. You're already doing it right now.
that's right.
You do kind of have a Norris-ish beard,
No,
don't
okay,
you?
okay. That.
Do you have anybody in your life, Travis, that you
Yeah.
can just beat up on and they just keep popping up like them things that they have the
Whack-a-mole.
sand bottom?
Whack-a-mole. Oh,
And
no.
They stand,
Oh, Weeble Wobble. Oh, yeah,
Yes,
no, I
yes.
remember they were
I am
inflatable.
Brian's-
yeah,
I am
you blow them up and it's a clown. You know, and
I am Brian's clown.
Right.
Bag,
You're
whatever you wanna call
you're
it.
punching clown.
yeah.
But see, there.
But the
I
point
get
is,
to him just as much as he gets to me.
Yeah.
I'm just not doing it now because I got nothing.
yeah, you got
Apparently,
nothing.
well,
That's cool, dude. That's
we were
cool.
talking earlier about this situation. He said, "You know, Brian, when you were in Drop Hammer, you really were kind of an asshole, especially like about an hour before you went on."
Well, I remember that. I remember that.
yeah.
I remember hour before you go on, Brian. For
Yeah.
sure.
See,
Yeah.
I
I mean, I understood though. I mean, I got it. I knew.
I understood once
I
I-
never took offense.
Once I was exposed to it,
But there
and
were
got
people
used
around
to
me
it,
that didn't get it. Yeah.
Once I was exposed to it and got used to it, I understood then.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, absolutely.
But I had girlfriends that would be like, why do you work with this band?
He
He's
treats
such
you
a
like shit."
dick to you.
Yeah.
And they would tell him. They'd say, "Why are you treating my boyfriend like such an asshole?" And
they didn't
all
like
he
me.
does, does is help you out, and he shows up at everything, and he's all the time taking himself away from me.
He made his
in
own.
order to come and blah blah blah.
He made his own drop hammer hat. He went to the mall and paid fucking $25 and had an embroidered drop hammer right on this fucking ugly ass hat, and fucking I wear it every day.
That's awesome, dude.
I know, and it's like, I feel like an ass about it, but
here's the thing. There, after a while of hearing this, he would look at him and go, "You know what? Fuck you."
Yep.
You know what? He would tell these girls that I was with,
Yeah.
"Fuck you.
Fuck you.
I don't care."
I don't care.
And he'd have, and I'd have to explain to him, this is our working relationship.
Yeah, I'm saying, dude.
He's a
He
dick.
needed-
I'm his bitch.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what it is right
but
now.
what
After the show, everything's cool.
He needed a foil. He needed somebody that he could just express that dimension with, dude. You provided an incredibly valuable service during that time,
well, the
dude.
service that he provided was he understood. He understood.
Man crush.
He's gayer than a load. He's gayer than semen on a mustache.
That was good.
I saw that on the internet.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
good.
take credit
You
for
can't
that.
take credit for that.
I would have.
But what you provided to me was a barrier between people actually bothering me and me being mean to somebody that couldn't take it.
Right.
And let me explain why I was being mean. When you have this gig that you're about to play and you're nervous, some people their nervousness or their scaredness or insecurity about what might transpire, because you're obviously afraid that you're going to go out and your pants are going to bust up and your little dick's going to show to everybody, and then your voice is going to crack, and then you're going to fart,
and you're going
to basically be like, well, my life is over.
And you're going to break a guitar string, and your amp's going to catch on fire.
Yeah, everything
not
bad
in a
is
good
gonna
way.
happen. And you're worried about all these things. Did I tune the guitar? Is it tuned? Did I get it ready? Is the fresh strings? Is one going to break? Fuck, I don't know. And then all of a sudden there's somebody, hey man, dude, and you're like, what? I remember that time when you were playing at Screamers, man, or was it Scrudgers? Anyway, man, when you were opening for that one, are you in Lynn Allen? No, this is Drop Hammer. Oh. Well, were you? I ain't got time for this shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, no, I don't want to talk right now. I've got things going on in my head and what I'm worried about, because I want it to be the best show that I could possibly do.
Right.
And now looking back, it's going to be the show it's going to be, regardless.
Of course.
And I guess that
was getting in character though. You were getting in character.
But you were young.
I was very serious about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You were getting in character.
You were hungry.
Yeah.
You wanted to be. You wanted to have whatever, and I'm not saying Drop Hammer always opened. They did do a lot of headlining shows, but they opened for a lot of bands.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what Brian wanted, was, from the way I saw it.
Well, you got to be on your game if you're going to be in
That's
front.
what I mean.
That's why you're doing them shows.
It was serious
But
business,
he
man.
wanted
So
them.
every band I've been in, I've got to worry about everything from the fucking answering the phone call and booking the gig, negotiating money, making sure that we have a fucking 12-pack of beer in the dressing room, okay? All these little things, all the way to, making sure everybody's loaded out.
Right.
So everything in between, that's not just there's a lot of things to worry about.
There's a ton of shit to worry about.
Okay, doors are at fucking 9:30. We're still doing sound at fucking 9:20.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And by the way,
then-
somebody needs to poke these fucking lights because they're shining right in my eyes in a
Right,
bad
can you move
way.
lights
and give me
around?
fucking
Yeah.
shadows.
And then I showed up.
And then Benny showed up and started fucking taking the load.
Seriously.
But it wasn't just the load of the work. It was the emotional load. It was the ability to express the passion behind the need for control. And hey, man, sometimes that looks like being a fucking dick. But if you can take it, you can be a valuable member of the organization. Not just as another pair of hands to do work, but as a foil, like you were saying, as a foil to get in between you and somebody else who don't know what the fuck's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But after the shows was a completely different story.
Oh, God, we don't need to talk about that.
It's all congratulations.
Then it's all like, okay, our work is done. It went
Well,
whichever
your
way it
work
went.
was done.
Sure. Anyway,
And I had to load everything out.
He was a great helper, and he's been through a lot of things with me like that. And I guess with you pointing out the fact that you were kind of an asshole, and I knew that I was doing it, and I just didn't know what else to do. I guess I wanted to feel important to somebody, and you let me feel that way. And going into a gig feeling important is a good feeling.
Yeah.
Right?
This made me think of something.
I'm not upset about it.
I don't mean to
I was
interrupt,
just
but
trying to explain that I understand it.
I was just realizing though that because I kind of knew that Brian was a fucking asshole to you. Like I was riding on his coattails of being a dick to you. I was like, man, fucking Benny can take it, dude. Like I know this dude can fucking take it, man.
See, I've been working for Brian and I enjoy doing it. But what what I've noticed this time around is that Brian and I are becoming more friends.
Sure.
I would just suggest to everybody to really take the time to call your friends, text them, and say something absurd like this. Just say, "I love you."
Yeah.
You know, and for the longest time, that was like, you don't say that to somebody, man.
It's your friend.
It's so hard to say that to somebody.
No,
you know?
15 years ago, you couldn't say that.
Boys
No.
can't love boys.
Because you were
No.
a rock star.
But
You were a
I say
badass.
it
You couldn't do
freely on, you know, not to where it doesn't mean anything, but
No.
I make sure that I let people know, you know, because you never know.
And because it's true.
Yeah.
That's the best reason to say it.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
because it's true, man.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, when you recognize people that are your people, you got to tell them. You got to let them know that they're your people, you know,
Yeah.
and not let moments go by sweeping that under the rug. Now, obviously, there's other work to do, but when you salute each other, you say hello and you say goodbye.
A lot of my youth was I was very it was very difficult for me to get close to a male.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do that. I couldn't embrace you know, because my drummer Terry and everybody, they'd want to come up to me and give me a hug and bro that way, and I really felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to, you know, it's kind of like that whole like,
Dude,
I don't
if
know
I come
how
too
to-
close, then
Yeah.
maybe our penises will touch, and then then I'll have to get the wire brush again.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
And I just did that yesterday. It still hurts.
Dirty.
yeah, and I'm not, and I realize I'm not a male. I'm a human, right? And so just like the other day when we came out of the hospice room,
Yeah.
first thing I did is I put my arm around you and
You did.
I hugged you.
You did.
It was natural for me to do that, and
I
it felt
needed
good.
it. I
It felt
needed it.
good.
I
It
needed
felt
it.
good.
Yeah. It felt good to me too.
And you know,
Should I leave you two alone?
no, it's just
Oh, we've been alone this whole time.
yeah.
Touche. Touche. Very good. Very good.
So okay, so we
Jesus,
had
I got my mom gonna watch
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
I actually had a listener ask a question of us.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember what it was. It was something about, it was Shannon Choning asked, what song and with what band would you want to play? Like if you could pick any song, any band to perform on stage with the band, what would it be?
There's so many.
Yeah.
Pretty good question.
And if I'm playing guitar as opposed
No,
to
anything,
doing
man. You can
something
play
else,
kazoo in
Yeah.
Dave Matthews Band or whatever.
Yeah, they have a kazoo player, I think, actually. Ooh, that is a really good question.
I got one.
I think right now I would have to say, just speaking to the Jordan Zadarozny trip, I would probably want to do one of the songs off of August Everywhere with him, any one of them. Just because I just think those songs are so cool, and I would just love to have one tiny little part, even if it's just playing the shaker, during the chorus, during the second chorus. There are so many little different things that happen. He needs a band on stage of about 30 people in order to do it all, and I'd love to do that. That'd be great. What about you?
You're not gonna like the answer, but there's a lot of meaning behind
Drop
it.
Hammer at the Pigpen.
Nope.
Come on, no laugh from Travis on that one? All
I
right.
was serious. I was like, he is seriously gonna fucking say "Drop Hammer" at the Pigpen, and I'm just gonna
Just
have to take
kidding,
my
man.
fucking headphones off and walk out of the
Yeah,
room.
there's something wrong here.
No, but it might be just as bad.
Okay.
Nickelback.
Oh.
Photograph.
Oh wow.
When I listen to that song, it just images pop up in my head
Yeah.
of my youth.
Yeah, there you go.
And they're like, you just listen to the whole thing about going to the old arcade and everything. I used to hang out in an arcade that was 3 blocks from my house, and they tore it down. And I've been home a few times since I've lived out here, and I've gone by there. There's no evidence that there was an arcade there. So for me, that song touches my heart.
I gotcha.
Yeah, you're looking at me like fucking Nickelback.
No, I was gonna
really?
say. So what you're saying is,
I'm pretty sure we can't be friends
This is what
anymore.
I was saying.
It's
so
the
what you're saying
song.
is, "Drop Hammer at the Pigpen." Denial. That's the way it works.
Yeah. Nickelback,
Actually,
Drop Hammer.
I was gonna say
same
Drop Hammer at QC Live.
Oh,
but
there
guys
you go.
ruined it
Yeah,
for
we
me.
did.
No.
We did.
No,
Yeah.
seriously,
Yeah.
Nickelback Photograph.
Which I mean,
would love to be able to do that.
on that tack, then it would probably be if Bradley Delp were still alive. I would want to do More Than a Feeling with Boston. I mean, that song is probably the first song that I noticed that I could actually play music in my own mind and hear a complete song with all the parts in my brain. And I still get a feeling kind of like what you're talking about whenever I hear that song.
It's a very sentimental song.
No,
for
it
me.
really is. Yeah.
You know, everybody's like, "Oh, fucking Nickelback," and I'm sorry, I like Nickelback.
Yeah. I'm sorry you like them too, because they're a
I'm sorry that they ever existed.
Okay,
Hey,
really?
you know
Really?
what's funny, though? You know what's funny, though?
Why do people hate Nickelback? I don't get it.
We're
Because
jealous.
Even the
That's
band.
We're jealous
that they've
like
sold
the
millions
band
of records.
has embraced the fact
Yeah, that
people hate them,
yeah.
and they love it. They
Yeah.
think it's absolutely hilarious.
Well, yeah,
they
it's
run
great.
with it.
It's great.
Mine would have to be.
We don't care.
Yeah, I didn't think so. See what happens is he's around me enough to where he picks up my mannerisms like
Yep,
that.
yep.
And that was fucking. You were channeling your inner Brian Miner on that one.
We don't
And
care. We don't care where that's
I
at.
give you a 2. I would have done way better.
As Brian channeled his own inner Brian.
That's a scary thought.
I guess it would have to be. There's no question.
Yeah.
It's going to be Kiss.
Oh Jesus!
What
Didn't
song,
see that
though?
coming.
Detroit Rock City.
Detroit Rock City, yeah.
You are the best. You got it. The hottest band in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Kiss.
Yeah.
And then the curtain. And the
Yeah.
fucking curtains come down, and you come
Yep.
trotting out there, and I'm half Ace Frehley, half Paul Stanley. It's
Yep.
in my mind. I can see
Yep.
it.
Yep.
And, then and I could even maybe spit fire if I want.
The sad
But-
thing is, I can see it too.
Yeah, and I get to play them all. I get to play Ace for a
You.
second, and then I'm Paul for a second, and then I'm
Pace.
Gene Simmons, and then
They call you Pace Franley.
Pace Franley.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds that's pretty good.
Yep. I would do, if I were going to do a Kiss song, I would have to do God of Thunder.
Oh, yeah, you get to
Yeah.
fly up to the rafters.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would want to do.
If I were to do a Kiss song, it would be, I don't know.
No?
they didn't do that. That was
know.
Ozzy Osbourne.
That was
actually.
Ozzy Osbourne,
Yeah.
yeah.
So-
This was during the Randy Rhoads
Ozzy would be
years.
cool to
That
be
was the
on
first
stage
song
with.
that Randy wrote with Ozzy, actually.
Yeah.
But check it out. I wanted to. I touched on it earlier. This is a local show with a big local word on it, and there's really nobody that I think that says local hero or whatever everybody knows than Rob Simrusty. And if you're interested in telling a Rob story, I'd love to put one of these episodes out and just have, like I said before, people just telling one or however many you want to tell. But I'll get my camera out, like documentary style.
Now,
and you tell me your favorite Rob story.
Now, are you willing to go mobile and catch people on location
Absolutely.
doing that? Okay,
Sure.
good.
Oh,
So
wow.
it could be ultra convenient for
Sure.
them.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
it would be wonderful if you want me to come to Central, wherever you're at. It'd be cool to have a nice little background.
Sure.
Not
And-
not in the bathroom at Walmart or anything. You know?
And also,
That's
that's
just creepy.
You would probably entertain. Now, I noticed you put a little clip of Rob up of you, and he's just fucking around, but it's
Right.
just him being Rob.
Mm-hmm.
You would be interested in found footage and things like that, like footage if people have little bits and snippets
Sure.
and clips of Rob and things like that.
Yeah.
That maybe you could compose some kind of.
It would be fun
some
for me
kind
to
of,
put together
biopic.
some sort of. I mean, it's not going to be like a long form documentary or anything,
no.
but whatever I can put together, that maybe a 15, 20 minute
Cool.
homage to
Tribute.
Rob, and people just saying a few stories about him, and we can all kind of get together and have like a big podcast bro hug.
Oh, dude. We need to party,
Right?
man. We so badly need to party. And I don't know if any of it's going to be going on, because we're all going to be there together, tomorrow and the next day. And, if I know that one of the things that we can do to really help heal, from the loss of such a great friend and such an important influence on so many levels is for us to all get together and realize that even though the common thread that unites us was really sort of exemplified by his presence, the truth is that he was, in that respect, also a metaphor, for what it is that unites us anyway. Because we're all united by music. We're all united by the desire to do good works and make good art and do it as well as we can. And, Rob just helped us all see that in each other. And that would be terrific if we did that. So
Very cool, very cool. And so
that was actually really cool,
it
Travis.
was very beautiful.
Thank you.
I have a soul boner. Thanks Benny for being on the show,
You're
and of
very
course
welcome.
Travis, thanks for going out of your way and coming on
fuck you, Ben. Go fuck
a
yourself.
weird night.
Fuck you back, Travis.
I'm looking to try to get Matt Finn back on the show. I want to talk to Matt Finn about the show that they just did, the Mars Electric reunion that I recorded the show and put a video of it up on the YouTube machine.
Just don't ask about Denver.
Oh God, we're gonna really pin him down next time that we do this. But I'm trying to get him on the show again because he's fun to talk to. He's a good guy. And don't forget that
Finn, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, by the time that this podcast is out, it's probably going to be 3 or 4 days from now. But October 25th, Dive Bomb is going to be at Rascals again. And we're hoping that people come out and have a beer with us and make it a good time, because it really sucks to sing Unskinny Bop to 10 guys.
Yeah.
Like, that never happens, but it could happen. And if it did happen, that would suck. So if you want to come check it out, we got Minor Disturbance shirts and koozies and, of course, Dive Bomb shirts. And so there you go. This was episode 27. And, Ermi, I hope you're fucking happy. We talked about some music on this one. You know what I mean? So now the other people are going to be like, I wish you wouldn't talk about music so much.
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
Just remember, people, tell them you want me back.
Yeah, we're going to take a vote. No Benny.
I'm pretty sure Travis is not done gaping me yet ananyway.
Well, exactly
so
right.
He would enjoy it.
So you'll be able to vote no or fuck no in this poll.
Thanks for giving them so many options,
Yes,
Travis.
Exactly.
Thank you guys very much, and hope to see you next time on episode 28. Peace out, yo.
That was good, dude. We got some good shit in there, man.
You think?
I know we did.